Greetings, patrons, and, well, probably all you other wonderful monsterites out there as well. If you enjoy these kind of videos, unboxings, behind the scenes, I like to leave those for the Patreon, as those people give me extra support, and I also don't want to spam the channel with shorter videos and videos that are less information-driven. But today I want to cover these cards. This was a Kickstarter ran by a friend of the channel's, also another YouTube channel that was out there. Now it was from Ken Boiter, who ran the Bottled Imp channel, now runs Tales of Edra, and he'll be doing another Kickstarter, so if you do like this, do check it out. These were Mythical Creatures deck. These were the first set of Story Spark cards that he released. And they are wonderful. So I'll be getting into that. I wasn't planning on it, but once I got the set, I looked at it and I was like, I gotta share these. I gotta share these not only on Ken's behalf, but because it's just a great product and, well, they're frickin' monsters, right? So here we go. These cards were, well, let's go over the back here. 56 illustrated cards with creature descriptions for game masters, writers, storytellers, teachers, and lovers of precious things. I love that little part there. Ken is a actor, also a writer, an artist, so he is good with his words and with his ways of, particularly in the fantasy field. His channel, by the way, how I found Ken Boiter was by Bottled Imp, and it was a most wonderful channel that he did with another gentleman. They stopped doing it, but he is doing another channel currently. So let's get into the cards before this gets too long. Now, Ken, if you see this, shout out to you. I told you in the message, awesome work. And I know how much hard work it takes to get something done, hard work. And then especially when your hard work is not, well, rewarded in the way you're directing and hoping it to be. So let's take a look at this. Let me double check that I'm filming everything. And everything is going according to plan. So these are great for people that just need ideas. Maybe you don't know what creature to cover in your D&D campaign, or in your writing, or whatever you're doing, or maybe an artwork, a sketch you want to do. Then you just mix these up and draw a card, and you'll get a cool creature. Now, I don't want to mix them up because I want to go in order. These are all the creatures that are going to be featured in this deck, starting with the Banshee and ending with the Wyvern or the Wyvern, depending on your relationship with your wife, how you want to pronounce that. I don't think that made any sense. Let's continue. So we got the Banshees, the first one. The gentleman that did the art was Rich Nairn. Not sure how you pronounce the last name, but Nairn. Rich Nairn did the art, Ken Boiter did the writing, and here is the writing. So there's a description to each one. What I gotta shout out, let's start with the design. I'm loving the black and white design. Right from the box cover art, these nice little edges. Very nice. Well done, Ken. I'm wondering how you got that, or if you drew that out. That's very cool. I'm wondering also what's going on with this. You got a little shout out there to, where is it? Right here. The Animal Tragic Corporation, CO. I'm wondering what's up with that, if that's a collaboration, if they help fund the project, or if that's part of your guys's, because it appears on every card, so obviously it's significant, and it's not just some corporation you just mentioned on the box. So, Ken, if you're watching that, I'm curious what's going on there. So let's go through. We're going to go through all of them. We're not going to go slowly, as there's a lot, but hopefully it'll inspire you into supporting Ken and his work. Now, from the design, like I said, awesome work, and the artist himself, very cool, very not very, but there is a certain stylization to all the work, and so it makes all of it synchronize and work together. And then last shout I need to do as part of the review of this product is the write-up, the research. The research on each one isn't as generic, no offense, but not as generic as I was thinking it may it would be. Some information is just easy to find and repeatable and significant, but Ken really found out stuff that is pretty unique, and maybe it's the wording that he put it through, but I do like how he covered each one, and it's not just the basic stuff you will find if you quickly do a Google search on this stuff. So I really do appreciate that, and do give a shout out to that genuinely. How about I just show the fronts so I don't spoil it? Well, you know what? I do want them in order, so let's go like this. All right, here we go. Basilisk, next. Interesting, because Basilisk has different interpretations. This one is the more serpent-like. So, well, you'll have to get it to see why that was the chosen one. Read the back. Behemoth, large creature. Behemoth. Bola. See, something I've never heard of, I think. There you go. Shout out to that. Bola. Pretty interesting one. I was reading the back of that one. There's a couple of things to it. One of them is this reptilian-like appearance. Bugbear. You guys got to know the bugbear. If you don't know what a bugbear is, how can you call yourself a monster lover? If you know orcs and goblins, you should know bugbear by now. Ketopal Pass. Very cool. One thing I would have appreciated, anybody making something like this, as I'm working on a video currently, that's a big listing video, I like to see what the origin is. Just a quick thing. I don't need a long description, but, something just like country. Because that always answers a few things to why this creature came into being as you look at the culture of that place and such, to better explore it and understand it. And you better learn about the culture and the people as well through the monster. Chimera, or Chimera, you can say Chimera, you're not going to be fired. Chino, there we go, Chino. This is a kind of stone giant. Yep, look at that. Never heard of that. Heard of stone giants, but Chino. Guys, there are so many monsters out there. It's unbelievable. Next is the cockatrice. Also has a different appearance. I do like this one. I do like this path he went as well. Cockatrice and Basilisk, is it? They have some relations to one another. Let's see if it mentions the other here. Continuing, we have the Death Worm. Look at that art. Look at the art that went into all of them. That's a lot of work. It's not just a quick sketch and then putting pen over it. It actually is a lot of line work. And it's very nicely composed. And again, I love the border because it really works well with the art. Let me show you what else he did with the border there that you might even... So Devil Bird, kind of owl-looking birdie. I want to show you what else he did with the border that really blends in beautifully with the artwork. Let's take these two, for example. We got the dire wolf, right? And then the doppelganger. Look at that. When you think of doppelganger, what would you draw, for example, right? So, nice work on this. Look at all the line work on here. And then you got the tree stump. Very nice. So, another thing he did with the border that I really like from the graphic design standpoint here is you got the white border, but then there's also this black border. And you see it more clearly here. Kind of an arching of spikes and then the middle spike. So that's going across here as well. So it's not just the white border and then a black border, a straight black border cutting it off. No, you have this rigid, that spiky border going around the artwork. And that, I think, blends in beautifully with the black line work. Just look how it works out. See, I didn't even notice that for the first while, and that's... I didn't notice it in a good way because it didn't stick out, but the artwork still had its presence in a nice organized fashion or nicely displayed fashion. All right, so moving along, we got the dragon, eight-forked serpent. All right, not just a hydra, although there is a hydra. Fray bug. If you've ever heard of a fray bug, let me know. Gargoyle. Then we have a golem. Not golem character, the actual monster golem. That's the golem you should know first and foremost. Secondarily, as a monster lover, you should know Golem from the Tolkien series. The character. Not to be confused with the actual Golem. An actual Golem. Goofus Bird, another one. If you've heard this one, do let me know. Give us a shout out. Griffin. Griffin, front half or portion of a eagle or bird, and back portion of what? There's a similar creature coming up. We'll repeat that question. We got a harpy. There we go. We got a hellhound. Lovely. Look at that artwork. Look at the stylization. Hippogriff. So it's not a griffin. Now it's a part of a eagle or raptor bird. And the back half of what? What's the difference between a hippogriff and the griffin? Pretty easy. Pretty easy. 100 heads. Love it. Look at that. Now look at this artwork. I'm really enjoying this one. How many heads can we really count in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, there's a shark head. I love it. You gotta include all. Look, that looks like a schnauzer dog almost. Might even be a pig. And there's a snake head. There's a monkey. Goatish head. Moving onward, and then they start to be unclear because it's in the background. And look, it's like this whole pipe. Oh, sorry, a whole pipe, a whole worm of heads. That's pretty awesome. Cool artwork, well displayed. Because that's something I would be contemplating. If I were to draw this, how would I want to display this and not spend too much time on it, right? Maybe I'd even come up with this ball of heads, and make a portion of them unclear, like the ones in the background here. Different ways to approach, but that's a cool way to see it done. Hydra, remember eight-forked something serpent? Now we got the Hydra. Similar, right? What are the differences? Buy them to find out. Support Ken. Here we go. Imp. I do like this imp. This is, I dare say this is one of my favorites in this deck, but I do really like this illustration of the imp. I really like the aesthetics, the proportions, just the design of it. From the big ears to that big chin, that's a really nice triangular arrow shape there. And the wings. Love this one. Very nicely done. And look at with the background what he did, even with the black being cut off by the white there, and then the branch and the leaves. Very nice, very nice. We got an incubus. If we got an incubus, are we gonna have a what? What's the other one? Shout it out. Ink Pop Monkey. Now, Ink Pop Monkey, if you don't know. Let me see, Ink Pop Monkey. This is a really cool one. I'm sure you haven't heard of this one, and you should know about this one. Ken had me on an interview. You can check it out on his website, Tales of Edra. If you search, just Google Tales of Edra, you'll find his website. Check out an interview. We talked for a long time, like over 2 hours, over maybe 4 hours in total. We talked a long time. He interviewed me. He put it up. Now everybody can listen to it. It was for his Patreon. Support his Patreon if you like his work. But he had me on there, and we talked a lot. We talked about the Ink Pop Monkey because we were talking about these cards. And that's part of his logo for Tales of Edra is the Ink Pop Monkey. So shout out to that. Let me make sure that's sharp. And it appears to be so. So that's his logo right there. Awesome. All right, moving onward. We got the Kelpie. All right. We got the Kraken. The Kraken. Kraken that whip, cracking those tentacles. How big is a kraken? Can you give me a quick description? Mandragora. There we go. Awesome. Then we got the Manticore. Come on. One of the favorites out there. Is it a favorite? I'd have to say I do like the Manticore a lot. Look at that. I love this illustration. This is the Mimic. If you play D&D, you're very well aware of mimics. I love this illustration. Well done. What is your name, sir? Rich Nairn. Rich Nairn, I hope you're watching this. Shout out to you. Rich Nairn also, I believe, has a channel. Let's see if it's listed here as well. Let me see here. Let me see if I can quickly find it. I don't know, but he does have a Patreon. Animal Tragic. So that's what that is. Okay, we have answered that question. Animal Tragic. Look, because, okay, a mimic is a mimic, right? It can be a treasure chest, anything, a chair. But what I love about it is that it has character. It has the mouth, which a mimic will always have. But then the arm rests They look like eyes. That's what I'm trying to say. And in a very simple way without overdoing it and trying to make them look like eyes. That's what I love about this, is they look like eyes and a mouth without overdoing this and making it obvious that they could be eyes. It's just a really nice, yeah, very, very nicely done. Mimic. Minotaur, come on. You know what I like about this Minotaur? I was reading the back to make sure, that the lore over there is as the original lore and all that. And it is, because the Minotaur is always shown, dirty and almost nude or nude. But here he's wearing this nice stuff, and it does make sense because of the connection with King Minos and all that. But I've never seen it really presented like so with nice clothing. So I do appreciate that from the artist's interpretation there. Phoenix. There we go. A little note there. My camera stopped filming as I was doing this, so my hands may not match what I'm saying and doing. So I'm just going to kind of show these cards again to the camera with using my voice from earlier. Then we got the rock. How big is the rock? Quite big. Look, that's a pirate. He's on a boat, or is he taking a boat? Sea serpent. Gotta have your sea serpent. And a Selkie. Know what a Selkie is? A siren. What is that? Mostly females in lore. And a Spriggan. Do you know what a Spriggan is? From the top of my head, that'd be a tough one. So if you know what a Spriggan is quickly, that's awesome. Look how those trees were rendered back there. Love it. And again, that border. See how that border just blends in? You don't even think about the border. You just see the artwork, and then it just kind of blends out. Succubus. Remember I mentioned the incubus, and what's next? Well, there you have it. And then we have the talking tree. Love it. Love it. I love anything earth-based, monster-based growth. If you ask me, Arthur, what's your favorite monster? I cannot answer that, but tree-type deities, things that travel the earth, that are part of the earth, that when they step on the ground and they lift their foot, new plants come out, mushrooms and moss, things like that. What does that remind you of? Princess Mononoke, anybody? All right, moving on. Thunderbird. Thunderbird, that's something to research more about. Everybody knows of the Phoenix, but Thunderbird, do you know much about that? A troll, gotta have your trolls. Gotta have your trolls. I gotta say, this troll to me was a little bit ogreish. I don't think there was an ogre in the deck. So there wasn't an ogre. So he's kind of representing for the ogre as well. They're different creatures, but to me, he looks a little bit ogreish. For me, trolls, I like the long nose, kind of like a hag witch, but warty and all that. But either way, ogre, troll, I love them both. So there's your troll. Unicorn. Unit. What does eunuch mean? What does corn mean? Hope you know those. And there we go. Warg. I know your werewolf lovers out there know what a warg is, but do you other folks know what a warg is? Figure that one out, or find out. There's a Wendigo. What I noticed that's different about... excuse me. My old knees are having a tough time. I noticed a different thing about this card is you don't see victims in any of the other cards, right? You just see the monsters. There you see a victim once in a while, like the Rock had a victim, but this one is really clearly like this and the victim. It's really kind of focused on the devilish side of the Wendigo, the evil portion of it, which is the very essence of its being to some degree. Interesting. I like that it's, because this is a Native American creature, but I like how it's in this fantasy setting with this kind of character that's more fantastical with their attire. And the Wendigo is definitely has a different look to it. Some things akin to the lore, some things akin to the pop culture. And that's a nice mix of both. Moving onward, werewolf. Where would we be without the frickin' werewolf? Werewolves, not swearwolves. Tell me where that's from. Awesome line. Awesome film. Whiteheart. I don't know what that is. Look it up. Maybe I should do a giveaway with these cards. If you think I should do a giveaway with these cards, do let me know. Again, if you like these kind of videos, I do them for my patrons as a great thank you to them. Please feel free to support or not, or share. Here we go. Will-O-Wisp. You should know Will-O-Wisp, especially with my upcoming video because they're mentioned there. Will-O-Wisps. You should have heard of that. Wolpertinger. You may have heard of that in hybrid videos, hybrid mythical creatures, and the wyvern or the wyvern. Why? I don't know. So it depends all on how you want to call it. There we have it, folks. The Wyvern. A beautiful ending to these mythical Story Spark cards. Story Spark because they spark your stories, your ideas, your art. By Ken Boiter and Rich Nairn. Beautiful job. This was a Kickstarter. He will be doing another one. He's got a poll on there somewhere that you can vote for which cards for him to do next. It looks like it may be deities, gods and goddesses. If you like it, support him. Check out these guys' Patreons. Check out my Patreon if you do want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching. I hope this was entertaining, fun, and maybe even educational.